Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Tech and Life. This is Aram Tadepalli. I am here with a new video on Java programming. Actually, this video is for R19 regulation students who are appearing for end semester 2 examinations tomorrow. So they are about to write their Java programming examination for 2 semester, both for computer science and engineering and information technology. This video will be useful for both the groups. And coming to the syllabus and keep these COs and POs out aside, and coming to 5 units concepts. So in unit 1, we have the basic concepts of Java programming. That means input and output statements, how to create an input, how to give an output using commands, and what is the importance of printf function and printf method and static variables, methods, what are the different types of arguments and different types of operators. So we have different types of operators, and there might be a question regarding an operator for sure in each set. If it is a 4 set, then you can expect at least one operator related question in each set, because it is most important thing. And coming to the second part of the unit 1, that is loopings and conditional statements. So in this control statements and conditional statements, we are going to look over if condition and nested if else, and different types of other types of implementations like for loop, while loop, and do while, and for each, and break and continue statements. You will be having at least 2 questions in alternate sets. For example, you may get at least if condition in 2 sets, and for loop or while loop in other 2 sets, because there are the most important topics for unit 1. So you will be having these kind of typical questions from unit 1. Even though it is a basic thing, you will be get confusing because of this typecasting. So typecasting, that means changing one form of the data type into other form of data types, and you need to understand which form is acceptable to change into other form. For example, in Python programming, we can't convert a complex into integer, string, boolean, all those things. In the same manner, we can't convert other data types into complex forms, because they will be having separate structure of these kind of programming things. So you need to follow that programming structure. And coming to unit 2. In unit 2, we have classes and objects, which is the most important topic. And from here onwards, you will be entering into the core components of Java programming. That means how to create a class, or how to create an object for that one, what are the methods, how to create a constructor, and how to overload, how to override the things, and passing the arguments by value, by reference, and this keyword. So all these things are the most important things from unit 2, and also the things like access controls. So public, private, protected, and default. So different types of access protectors and access modifiers will be there. Access control things will be there. You need to follow all those things to understand how a class and an object, a method will work in Java programming. How you can overload a constructor methods, how to overload a normal method, how to implement access controls, public, private, protected, how those keywords, public, private, protected, how those keywords will impact that programming structure. You need to understand that one. And there is a small concept called recursive methods, which will be called repeatedly whenever they are required, like a function, and you need to look over small code blocks for this kind of problem statements. And coming to unit 3, in this one, they all discussed about only the one concept, that is arrays. So actually they didn't speak about anything like stacks, queues, linked list, hash tables, trees, graphs, nothing like that. But they just discussed about one simple concept, that is arrays. Even though it is a simple concept, they dive deep into the concept, because in arrays they try to implement all the basic operations on different concepts. That means sorting. For example, sorting, how you sort array of elements, how you will be search for a value in array of elements, like binary search, and how to create two-dimensional array, how to array of varying lengths, three-dimensional array as vectors, how to create an array as a vector. And these are the basic concepts you will be getting in further semesters, because you need to focus on data structures, the concept called data structures. You will be seeing these array concepts, and the similar operations will be doing in the different programming languages. And also you may get a concept of advanced data structures, and in that subject you will be learning about these array concepts. And the same thing, how to search for an element, how to perform sorting and assigning array to another array. That means assigning operations and different types of operations on array elements. You need to understand each and every part of a data, how data will be storing in the memory. So if you observe, array is the concept of storing similar data type elements. You all know that one. So in Python programming, list and tuple or any other thing will be storing only not only multiple not only single type, it will be storing multiple data types. Like that, arrays will not perform in the same manner. It will store the data but of the similar data type. If it is a number, all the elements must be number in the same array. If it is a float, all the things must be float. If it is a string, all the things must be a string. Like that, it will be performing in arrays. So how computer will arrange memory for that array, it will be discussed in third unit's first part. And coming to one of the critical thing you need to keep it in mind while preparing for examination, that is inheritance. How inheritance will work, how finally keyword, and all of the different types of inheritance types in OOPS concepts. So general OOPS concepts, object oriented programming patterns, inheritance concepts, encapsulation, polymorphism, all these things you need to learn. And remember one thing, it is a programming language subject. That means you need to understand the concept basically, and you need to write a sample code with sample use case according to your perspective. So it's better to write a sample code for each and every problem type statement. For example, they asked about explain about recursive methods. It's better to write a function, it's better to write an example for recursive methods. And coming to, for example, overloading or overriding, so it's better to write overriding related and overloading related sample example. And all the time, evaluators will not seek for a complete structure from top importing to the end printing statement. They will check the mid main blocks, that means overloading or overriding, and where it is being performed in those videos, in those code blocks will be checked there. So you need to focus on that part importantly. So those are the important things you need to focus on. And coming to unit 4, packages. So some sort of advanced concepts, we are entering into some of the advanced concepts, and wrapper classes and enumerations, how enumerations will perform, and different types of package creation, what is the importance of lang in packages, and exception handling. That is the one of the critical part. That means we have different types of exceptions: try, catch, throw, finally, throws. These are the 5 keywords. What is the importance of throw and throws? You may get a requirement like that. Whether you need to use catch for every time you use try or not. So all these things are small things you need to focus on. So if it is an exception handling, you can expect this exception handling question at least 3 sets. In 1, 2, 3, 4, you may get at least for 3 sets you will get exception handling question. And next one, coming to the last unit, 5th unit, that means string handling in Java. That means different types of string manipulation, string comparison, data conversions will be implemented. And the threading concept. So threading concept started with majorly started with this Java implemented, because it's a kind of a small part of the program. You will be having multiple threads. Multi-threading concept is the main core component of this threading concept, and how you will be suspending those threads, how you will be creating some sort of exceptions or some sort of situations to stop that thread, like suspending that thread, and how to operate deadlock situations, synchronizing, asynchronizing, and all these things. You need to write the sample codes, and a small part is there for database connectivity, and you can expect to at least one set with this transaction management. You will be having one sort of transaction table in DBMS subject. You need to focus on that transaction management concept, and also establishment of connections, how to create a database, how to create a table, and only one or two questions may get from this one, and majorly they will focus on multi-threading and string handling in from fifth unit, because multi-threading is the major part in fifth unit. So this is about uh, this syllabus. Now we will be moving to the core components, like how we separated the concepts for you. What are the important things you need to follow on? Now you can see the step-by-step procedure, and we separated into three different blocks. That means beginner concepts, intermediate concepts, and advanced concepts for Java programming according to Java programming syllabus. And coming to beginner concepts, basic Java concepts you need to learn. That means how to create input, how to give output, and operators, scope of the variable, local scope and global scope, looping statements, and break and continue. So you can expect major of the beginner concepts you can see in at least three sets. And intermediate concepts, classes versus objects, how the classes will be created, how objects will be created, what is the importance of an object, and methods creation, calling methods, and overriding, overloading, arguments, and passing variable, how to pass a variable and how to operate with methods. All these are intermediate concepts. Each set will get at least one question from these five topics. And advanced concepts, OOPs, arrays, keywords, sorting, memory management, and accessing variables, functions. All these things are most important thing. It For every set you can see at least one concept will be repeating from this advanced concepts. And coming to next one, expert concepts are three blocks here: packages, wrapper classes, access controls, and date and time function, exception handling. So you can see exception handling in every set, at least three sets, and class strings, methods, string buffer, and string builders, threading, and deadlock situation. Deadlock situation you will get at least in one set or two sets. And other concepts like databases, JDBC, ODBC connections, transaction management, are also some sort of expert concepts. So you can refer those things if in the least cases. And concepts need to be focused. These are the list of concepts you need to focus for examination. That is declaration of variables, operators with examples, conditional statements, and classes and methods, and all these things, all these concepts are the most important things you have to learn before implementing, I mean to say before writing the examination. And keep that in mind. Write an example for each and every concept unless it's a theory question. If it is a theory question, you know to write a code. But if it is a normal question, even though they didn't ask for a code, you have to write the code. Write code snippets with proper indentation. Indentation is must and should. Even the Java particularly did not follow any indentation, you have to give some sort of indentation so that the evaluator can get clear glimpse of your code. And don't override the mistake code blocks. If you get any mistake to the code in the code, don't write something like, oh, don't strike it off, and don't write above or below that code block. Just if you have any error there, major error, then you can make it a small box and strike it off. But don't rub that one, strike it off that one, and write above or writing below. Don't do like that. And write expected output for each example. If you are writing a code, you have to write expected code also. Expected output also for each and every code. And highlight the important keywords in the theory part if time permits. That means if you are speaking about overriding and overloading, some keywords will be there which differs the difference between those two things. So you have to highlight those things by underlining, and don't use multiple color pens, either blue or black, only one thing, okay, not both. Actually, you will not get sufficient time to use both the things and do do decorations for those. So it's better to use either blue pen or black pen. Don't use any other color pens, red, green, violet. Don't use glitter pens. And program questions need to focus inheritance concepts and all the inheritance types, polymorphism, encapsulation, factorial, Fibonacci, prime or not, simple database applications, operators. Different types of operators will be there. And don't focus on writing example for bitwise operators. It will be quite complex things, and focus on remaining types of operators. But when there is a question called operators, you have to compulsorily write all the operators. If there is a specific notation or requirement there, like if they ask about logical or conditional, then you have to majorly focus on those things, not condition, assignment or something arithmetic or like that, and overriding and overloading, and functions and scope of the variables. So these are the important program questions you need to focus while writing examination. And also you may also add here multi-threading, and also exception handling things. You can focus on those concepts. So these coding questions are out of the priority things, but if you learn these things, it will be helpful for you. And thanks for watching this video. I think it will be helpful for you. And wait for next video, and that is also regarding this semester examinations. And meanwhile, we are going to start a new session on Python programming soon. So stay tuned to Tech and Life and Maheraa groups. If you are not a follower or connected with us through Maheraa groups Instagram page, you will find the description. You will find the Instagram link in the description below under this video, so you can follow Maheraa groups for latest updates. Thanks for watching this video. Bye.